shall believe in your deceiving. Sufficient, I'm emotional. So emotional. I can't forget that night I saw you in the corner, wrapped up tight. You were wrong.
All right, let's try to make sure we was good there.
Dancing on the floor while I was watching from the door. So hurt. There you were.
I like to hear this song, so let me play it out real quick.
That we were always meant to be, but now I see you were wrong. You can't keep running back to me with all those baby pleases no more. No more.
Gotta play our new theme song. This is the new theme song for 2022. Well, you know what we doing. We flying and pressing. We're flying and pressing this year.
Y'all know what this is. Your eyes on me, apply that. Get it, don't be timid when you in it. Love upon it, live alone, leave it. I don't wanna give, baby, spread like it's really so fine. It's spicy, baby, jump up on this. I guess that's why you like it, baby. Come and get this. Takes a lot to excite me, baby. Give it all you got. I'm a dub cookie, baby. Get the right stuff. You texting me, you know.
It's official. 1, 2, 3. We're here for a particular reason.
Time to put the kids to bed.
And that reason is...
It's time for the full 180.
Hello. It's Tuesday, and it's time for another great conversation, some good content, and some perspective opinions. And when I say it's some real opinions on here today, it's some real opinions on here today. We're all right here on the Full 180. Welcome to the Full 180. If you're new, make sure you subscribe to all our social media pages. That's YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Instagram. Find out what's going on next. We have a live show that's coming up in January. We're going to do it at the end of the month, January 29th. It'll be anywhere between 2 and 5. I'll have all this solidified on our page by this weekend. Other than that, there's a lot of things going on in the world, but most importantly, we have lost another pioneer, man. Please put your hands together for none other than this gentleman here, Mr. Sidney Poitier. If you ain't seen Raisin in the Sun, if you haven't seen this man put on a movie, if you haven't seen Uptown Saturday Night, I don't know what you're missing. When I tell you I'm old school, I'm old school. Me and my grandfather sat around and watched these movies, but this gentleman is a pioneer, along with him. Miss Ruby, Mr. Harry Belafonte, these individuals paved the actual, made a way for us to break into cinema, I believe, so you can have the empires, you can have the Too Fast, Too Furious, so now you got singers and artists breaking into movies and just a lot of things, man. This individual not only was he a movie actor, but he was also an activist, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Within trying to push for civil rights back at that time. When I heard that we lost another great one, man, it's just like how you lose him and Sister Tyson at the same time. It's like, man, that's like. I just can't put that into words. So when y'all found out about Mr. Poitier being deceased, how did y'all feel about that? What was going through y'all mind? Where was y'all at when y'all found out?
I was actually I was gonna say I was at home, but I was just thinking about how he actually started. He came here, he didn't know any English at all whatsoever. He couldn't really read, and he was able to do all that he did. Like he got into film, and basically, people didn't realize he had a thick accent because English is not his first language. So he did it. I respect him a lot. What he's done for the industry.
Go ahead, Clint.
I didn't even know he was deceased until I just happened to look up. I mean, I didn't even know Bob Saget from Full House was deceased. He passed away Monday.
Yes, that's what I was going to talk about. Go ahead.
Right. They say it come in threes, though, even though more people die every day than that. But I guess 3 notable people, Betty White, Sidney Poitier and Bob Saget. So condolences to their family. I mean, well, and our brother Charles as well.
Yes, I will get to that later. Basically, well, since you brought it up, I definitely said, man, I need y'all to do what you know, full 180. We try to be transparent, but I don't like to be transparent without getting the okay. And I did get the okay from my brother, knowing that everybody sees it and have seen it. But tonight is dedicated to not only my father, my sister that had passed away, but we're gonna dedicate it to my other mother, Miss Jane Carey, in the Carey family. This is my brother, my big brother's sister, mother. When I tell you, Charles has been instrumental in her life for a very, very long time. He has been the go-to as far as Nita and Tootie. It was a blessing to see her on Christmas. I almost didn't make it, but I'm glad I got a chance to see her, talk to her. Charles is in good spirits. He's doing exactly what his father wanted him to do, is take care of business, and his mother take care of business, and he has his sisters right there along with him. So I told him, bro, you ain't got to be strong. You can lean on everybody else. We here. So whatever you need us to do, make sure you reach out. But I've always looked at her as mama, just like he called my folks his folks. I called her my folks. We've been rolling since eighth grade playing basketball. And, you know, we always have ups and downs, man, but nothing but love to that brother, to his family. So if you know Charles Carey, if you know DJ Legend, man, reach out to him, just send us some condolences, let him know we love him. And we're going to be here for him. So, matter of fact, when it's over with, I'm on my way to his house right now. So, with that being said, man, want to go to it? Don't forget, I want to tell y'all a good report, though. We had a young lady by the name of Antoinette Turner. She lives in Kansas City. She was actually here for the Juneteenth celebration last year. Came out along with my girl, Michelle. I don't have her stuff on right now, but she makes MAC, M-A-A-K. And they came out to be vendors or whatever. And she sold out. She made me a fantastic cup that I keep. I don't necessarily use, but I definitely appreciate. But she sent us a blessing. She sold into the show. It was great. It came out of nowhere. Bree sent me the message, and we was talking back and forth. She was like, "Do you remember me?" And what's name? So I want to publicly thank you, and I want to publicly thank everybody who takes the time out on Tuesday just to listen to the show. I hope that we're encouraging you. I hope that through us you're seeing transparency, and you're getting something, and you're leaving with something, not just a bunch of talk. Or, you know, we like to have fun, but some of this is our real life, so that we're telling you about. So it's not a game, it's not a joke. But our thing is that, since, you know, when you learn better, we do better, and they teach that in mainstream as well. So we hopefully that you're learning from us, and now you're doing better. But if you want to be a private investor, you have a business you want to advertise on the show, definitely hit us up. Like I said, the weekly package is $50. The monthly package is $150. If you want to be a private investor, just hit us up at the full 180 at gmail.com, and we can discuss the details. But thank you, Miss Antoinette, all the way in Kansas City, man. Everybody in Kansas City who's still rolling and vibing with us, man. I also want to let you know about the Kingsman Grooming. This is my man, my 06 brother, Mr. Caleb. This is his business, black-owned business, man. Brothers like Clint growing that beard, bro. I don't know how you do it. But I'm gonna keep where I'm at. But he has the lotion, he has the shampoo, he has the growth, the beard oil, the whole nine, man. Go to his website, thekingsmangrooming.com, and see if you can get them products that'll help you grow that grown man beard like my boy Clint got on. Also got a partner by the name of Mr. John J. Crane. He has a book out called #F5ToWin, right? So this book is basically to give you 5 areas to begin with the letter F that can examine and focus on fixing as it pertains to how we approach life. Man, it's a good read. I've been into it for about the third chapter. I've gotten into it. So if you it's on Amazon. So if you want to pick it up, please go by. All means, let's support everyone that's got black-owned businesses. And if you have a black-owned business and we ain't talked about it, let us know. I got to bring my financial auntie back on, of course, because, you know, it's almost time for tax season. So we got to get y'all ready, get y'all financial stability going on so you can grow your wealth. Not only that, man, it's almost here. That's right, June 18th, we're 157 days away from the second annual Juneteenth celebration and festival sponsored by the Darryl Blair and the Blair Foundation. Is going to be bigger and better. We had a meeting on Monday. Shout out to the Queen, Miss Sherry. and Miss Patricia Bailey and Mr. Muhammad and Luster. And man, when I tell you so many sponsors, so many J.O., AJ, so many things behind the scenes that y'all don't see, but you see on that finished product. And trust me, it's going to be for the young and old. We have grew the Juneteenth celebration to going from 1 day, now it's 2 days, because we're going to have a car show on Sunday. So, and that's brought to you by Mr. Muhammad, man. So, hey, man, make sure you get out there, come have a good time. It's family oriented. Bring your chairs. We're going to cover up the sun with tents this year. We'll be actually inside doing our show in the expo section. So that is going to be even more better. So come inside, come enjoy that. It's going to have that Essence type of feel, but we're going to do it Texas style. And if you didn't go to the first one, man, I guarantee you will enjoy this one as well. And so today, the motivational quote is this: actions prove who someone is. Words just prove who they pretend to be. I thought about this because, we talk about the 5 different love languages, right? Some people's love language is acts of service and words of affirmation. So I in my mind, I think to always say, you can tell me anything, but if your actions don't align with your word, then you're really not saying nothing. My grandfather would always say, if your word ain't nothing, then you ain't nothing either. So we got to learn how to keep our word this year. You say you're going to do something, then do it. Regardless of how you felt, regardless of being the Christian that you are, and if you are believing in God like we are, being the Christian that you are, it should always push you to always do the right thing. I can think so many times in the Bible what Jesus could have did in the Old Testament that he was a beast. But in the New Testament, when grace and mercy came a part of that, he used grace and mercy. And as my brother would say, how could you not offer anybody grace? Or how can you be so arrogant? That's the word he used, to not offer anybody grace, because you're going to need it one day. You're going to mess up one day. You're going to need somebody to forgive you and move on. So we have to learn forgiveness in this. And Bree brought something to my attention, bro. And she's going to talk about it. We're going to have a 2-part series on this.
Bree brought something to your attention?
Yes, sir. Hey, Bree smart, bro. What you talking about?
Don't play me. Don't play me. You just make sure you tune in.
You got to be on this one, bro.
Matter of fact, you're going to be on the show. How about that?
But it kind of makes sense. She said, yeah, don't answer, Clint. I just want to put this on your mind, because she brought it to me. She's talking about, well, if a woman is a female, whatever, when she's in her feelings, what is a man when he's in his feelings? Just let it marinate. Just let it marinate.
I'm not going to
let it marinate.
Answer it on mute.
Answer
the question on mute.
Yeah. Let it marinate. I promise you, bro. She brings some stuff to it, and it has something to do with people learning how to control their emotions. And that's what I'm getting at. But yes, man, let's make sure this year in 2022, our actions meet our words, and make sure our words meet our actions. Don't quit being a faker and a pretender. Quit saying you live in a 180 when you're still rolling around in your 360. Without any further ado, man, we're going to go ahead and get to the topic. Now, this has been pushed, and I have heard it from my sisters. And before I do that, let me introduce my sister. None other than the great songstress when we did karaoke. My sister, she's a sock ring holder, because her son is part of the championship team at South Oak Cliff High School. None other than my sister, the real one, the married one, Miss Tamiko McCoy. Queen, what's happening? You gotta get on mute up.
I know, right? Hey, how's everybody doing? I'm excited. I'm ready for this topic here. Yeah, let's do it.
She's been waiting on this. And of course, our very own 2022 Dr. B will be crossing the stage this year. So we're going to put that DR for real in her name. And none other than the mayor, all the way from the MLK Center, Mr. Clinton Baker. I can't call you CB no more. I got to put some Mr. on it. Put some respect on that brother's name.
Wait a minute. Bree graduating this year?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So she finally getting that D.
He is so wrong.
Get that.
Congratulations, sis. Congratulations. Keep grinding.
Thank you for having an adult response to the situation. Thank you. I appreciate it. You know what?
I can't stand you, but I love it. Oh, I love it. Oh my God. Of course.
That is funny.
Our very own licensed Roy is taking care of business with the kiddos. Kayla, make sure you make it happen. She's playing a very big basketball game. So, yep, she had to do that. And of course, you know, my brother's doing what he can do. So I'll see you in a minute, big bro. Other than that, let's go and get to the topic. So, topic is, this was posted on Facebook. And it got into a very, very great conversation. So we thought we'd bring it to y'all. And we want you to be a part of the show. So you got comments. I'm all about the comments today because I need people to respond and get into it. But what it said was, kids have no respect for authority because father isn't there. Most men bring structure in their home. It's key to raising a child. And no disrespect, but a woman can't do that. So what I'm going to do is allow my brother to elaborate more, just to get a little more background, and then I'm gonna give y'all, you know how me and Bree do. We like the research, so I'm gonna give you the research.
Go on mute.
So, big bro, I'm gonna let you elaborate a little bit more.
Well, to be honest, there's really nothing to elaborate. It's pretty plain. I truly believe that in most situations, the father provides the discipline, the structure, and the mother provides the nurturing. And like the context said, most men bring the structure in their home. Now, of course, there are extreme situations where you may be raising a single parent home. And this is not for the 1%ers. This is for the majority. I do believe that fathers bring the discipline and the structure. My father, when I was a kid, my mom was a disciplinary woman. She didn't play, but we tried our mom. When I was little, we didn't try our dad. He didn't have to lift a hand at us. He didn't have to say a word. He just gave us a look and we straightened up. And it's just, just in my opinion that, a lot of children, when they don't have a fear of consequences, and not to say that a mother doesn't give a child consequences, I just don't think that a woman can be two things at one time. She can't be that nurturing mother and be that disciplinary force. I just feel like that you can only be one at one time. And sometimes when kids know that you as a parent, you're kind of playing both sides or playing both roles, they'll try to manipulate that and take advantage of it.
Ladies.
Okay, so yeah, I do agree where he said that, you can't play both roles at the same time. However, in my situation, of course, I was actually the disciplinarian and the nurturing. And when we're talking about young kids, I think when they're young, they try anyways. Now, yes, I do feel that if a child has a father around at a younger age, they tend to learn faster when it comes to, right and wrong, knowing consequences and things like that. But when that part is removed, it does take a lot more effort. So what I mean is, in my case, I think I disciplined my kids a little bit too much in the beginning to where it was almost like I was overcompensating because I didn't have the father figure in the house. And so I was really on my kids about a lot of things, but then I had to go back and nurture them. I had to go back and say, okay, well, I know Mom was hard on you and I have to be hard on you for such and such and such and such, but I still love you. And so when they got a little bit older, they feel more confident in speaking to me because they know that I was able to discipline them early on. So I've had conversations with my son where he was like, Mama, can you step out of mama mode for a second? Okay, cool. Because mama mode, I'm going to pop in your chest. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a dad, I'm not a father, but he knows that in certain situations, he knows, hey, mama is going to get on me. But at the same time, my son I feel like girls and boys do need their fathers. I do agree with that. I've never claimed to be the mother and the father, ever. I've just done what I've had to do. to make sure that I raise my kids without their father being around all the time. You know what I mean? And so right now, my son is actually living in LA with his dad so that he can get those skills that he needs to actually be a man. He's in high school now. He only have a few more years before he's a man. So I sent him there for that reason. So I agree with a lot of what Clint said, but like he said, you know, it's that 1% that, you know, after a while I didn't have to whoop my kids. I didn't have to. They knew my look. They knew my breath. If I huffed a certain way, they knew to straighten up. I didn't even have to look at them. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, you just have to make sure that you build that foundation in the beginning as best you can. Now, is it perfect? No. Is a 2-parent home perfect? No. Is a single father home perfect? No. But you do what you have to do. And I don't think that to say that a woman can't, I would say, okay, we can say most, but there are a lot of us that can.
Sis.
Amen. I agree with you, Doc. A lot of stuff you said that resonated with me because, can y'all hear me? I want to make sure y'all hear me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you.
All right. So there's a lot of things you said that I really agree with. So let's go ahead and go to this post. Kids have no respect for authority because their father isn't there. Being an educator in an inner city school,
I don't even go there.
I call parents, fathers, daily for disrespectful children. So that's not a 100%. And I know the 1%, this is more than 1% because I've been in education for 20 years. So that's not an absolute statement because they have a father in the house that they're not disrespectful. They don't respect anything these days because there are no consequences. At home, at school, it's like they're coddled. Most men bring structure. Yes, I definitely agree with that. However, this is what made me respond to your post when you said no disrespect, but a woman can't do it. So that part of your statement to me negated everything that you said previously, because that's an absolute, because you said can't, cannot. So that's the way I interpreted it. That's my truth. That's my reality. But I would have to agree with sis as a mom. I was a single parent for 17 years. And I had to be mom and dad. Now, did I walk around on Father's Day saying Happy Father's Day to myself? No, that's not what I mean. What I do mean is I had to be the disciplinarian because my motto is wherever you show out, that's where we hold court. I will jack your head off and hand it to you wherever we may be. I've done it in the church house, and I've had to tell elders, either I raise them or you raise them. It's kind of like a catch-22 situation. You're damned if you discipline, you're damned if you don't. They're going to talk about you if you do discipline. They're going to talk about you if you don't. So I would have to disagree with that part of the statement. I understand the men bringing structure. So what I did do to compensate for being a single parent, I kept my boys in activities with positive male role models in the community. I kept them involved in church. They stayed in some type of extracurricular activity, taekwondo, basketball, football, whatever it may have been, to learn that additional discipline that they needed to supplement what I was giving them at the house. So that's where my peakness, when I saw the can't do it.
I'm about to light both of y'all up.
Okay, come on.
So let's go.
Let's do it.
So yes, I would have never posted that. No disrespect, but a woman won't do that, because you and Bree, as being good mothers, y'all do have the will to do that. But Tamiko, when you sit here and say, I had to be the mother and the father, you can't be a father. I get what you're trying to say, but you can't be a father, which is the same reason why Bree sent her son to LA to, like she said, get additional skills. What those additional skills were: structure and discipline. The same reason why you put your sons in extracurricular activities where there were men. So no matter what you two ladies try to do with y'all beautiful sons, y'all still had to allow a man to structure them and discipline them. Your son is a state champion playing a team sport that requires him to have structure, and discipline. So when I say things about a woman can't do it, I'm not saying that y'all not willing to do it. It's just it does not come natural for a woman to do that, because if y'all could do it 100%, y'all wouldn't send y'all boys off nowhere.
Okay. So as a rebuttal to that, it can be done, and it has been done, and it will continue to be done. As you stated, I am not the one that is per se physically making it happen, but if I didn't have the mindset to know what needed to be done, then because like even right now, my husband, I'm the disciplinarian. He gives the orders as in a drill sergeant type way, but when it comes down to the actual discipline, that's on me. Get up, clean your room up, that. But when it comes to the for real meat of the discipline, that's on me. That's not him. So are you talking about teaching them how to be a man, or are you talking about being disciplined? Because that's not the same. We can't talk as if that's the same thing, because it's not.
Well, I think.
Go ahead,
Clint. No, what I was gonna say was, so my thing is so if you think about it, a lot of people go to the army or they go to some type of military. So when I heard discipline, that's what I'm hearing. When you go to the army, you're learning discipline, you're learning structure, you're learning this, you're learning that, right? And 9 times out of 10, your drill sergeant is a dude. Yeah, I've never heard of a drill sergeant in the Army or in the Marine that is female. Not saying it cannot happen. And I can only speak for me. Just like in my house, I'm like, when Bree was talking, it made me think about my grandfather. Sitting in the back of the church when I wasn't really in the church, he could move and I was straighten up. Like he had a vein that popped in the middle of his head, and it was just like, and even my mother and them got in line. Now they grown and got kids, but they got in line. To me, when it comes to certain men, when it comes to men, and well, I'm gonna say a son and a father, there's a respect. Like even with and I agree with you, Tamika. My mother is like that too, but both of mine were disciplinarian. But when they said moved, I moved because it was a respect, not a fear that I had with them. We can joke, we can play, just like now. I can joke and play, but there's a fine line. Even with my grandmother, there is a fine line that we, as her children, grandkids, we do not cross. So when Clint says discipline and structure, that's the way I look at it, because I played football. It had to be structured, because if you didn't learn how to be safe out there, you can get hurt. So most coaches, not up until now, most coaches have been men. So I don't think he was saying necessarily being the person in the house that, in our world, who put this belt on that back to get you to get some act right. It's more or less like, hey, as a man, this is what you do. My grandfather taught me that when I used to cut his yard. He didn't want to help me open up my first bank account. It was a structure. It was something that we did, a certain way that you carry yourself. That's what he taught me. My father taught me the same thing. So that's what I think. Go ahead, Clint.
And I can definitely agree with that, and I understand that perspective. However, I also have to just give this caveat that I was born. I guess you could say I was from a single parent home. My dad was there, but he wasn't there, if that makes sense. So
it makes all the sense in the world.
You know what I mean? So it was mom. So mom worked 2 jobs to take care of us. So there were certain things that we knew that had to be done, even though mom was at work. So that's why I feel that we knew that authority was coming. If she came home and it wasn't done, you waking up, you getting whatever done on the spot. We knew we couldn't get phone calls to the schoolhouse for that fear, respect of knowing what would come with that. As far as chores, now that is something that me and my husband kind of go back and forth with on today. I teach the boys, well, he teach the boys, I teach the boys. They, the outside stuff. I don't too much bother them unless it's their room and their bathroom. But as far as the kitchen and all of that kind of stuff there, it's just natural for me to do it. But that's something that he's big on. They need to know, like they know how to sort clothes and wash clothes and all of that. But I'm not big on saying, okay, get in there and get your laundry done. That's just something that I feel naturally to do.
So sis, let me interrupt if you don't mind. You just say that you and your husband go back and forth on something. So if your husband's trying to teach them a structure and a discipline, why would you go back and forth with him on that? When he's trying to say, let me teach these boys this structure and discipline, but because you think it's not, so you're really, to me, kind of answering my own question. Nurturing, do I have the ability to be nurturing? I have a 17-year-old daughter. Yeah, I got a slight ability to be nurturing, but it's not natural for me as a man to be nurturing to my daughter, which is why she has a mother, which is why it's supposed to be a balance. So when I say things like, no disrespect to a woman, but she can't, I'm saying that you can replace the can't with it's not natural for a woman to have discipline and structure, because if I'm telling my wife, and I don't mean tell like commanding her, if I'm saying to my wife, the kids need to know this, she's not going to give me a rebuttal. She's going to trust what I'm saying. Okay, he's trying to structure and discipline our children. Even though I wash the dishes and everything as a wife, he's trying to teach them life skills. And I'm gonna give you another example too. I was raised in a house with 7 females. Yeah, my grandmother was a disciplinary woman, but she taught me no structure. And what I mean by that is, it took me, I'm 41 years old. I didn't learn as far as structure. What I mean by structure is, I didn't have a man to teach me how to love a woman, take care of a woman, be with a woman. That structure I'm supposed to already have through that male example. I didn't have that, and my relationships suffered because of that. You know how I learned that? Going around observing other men and how they took care of their wives and they took care of their woman. My grandmother, even though she was a female, she couldn't teach me how to be disciplined and structured because she had no structure. She was careless with her money. She was always broke. She was not disciplined. And most men, when we take care of our families, we know the wife is going to be the one that's careless with the money. That's why we the providers. That's why we go out there and work extra jobs to make ends meet, because we already know, you know what, my baby love to shop. She'll be blase. I'm gonna make sure she got it. So when I say no disrespect, but a woman can't do that, I'm pretty much saying that it's not natural for a woman to be the structure and the discipline in the family.
And let me say, I want you to finish up. No, I want you to keep that comment. I'm just gonna read some of the comments. So Stucky, what up, Stucky? He said, however, he said his mother was a drill sergeant. So she taught him how to treat a woman, but couldn't teach him how to be a man. I learned how to be a man by hanging around male role model, great leadership. Kim Caked Up, what's up, baby? Long time no hear from. Let's see. Lisa, what's up, El Boogie? El Boogie says women can't reach a man. They can't teach a man how to be a man, period. Stucky says a male role model and great leadership is what I just said. Lisa El Boogie says we can't teach them everything boys need. Go ahead, Bree.
I was gonna say circumstances changes all of that. I mean, what Clint was mainly talking about, he said when he approaches his wife about something. Well, that's a 2-parent home. Of course, if there's a 2-parent home, they're supposed to be on the same page, and a man is leading that family. So the man is going to come to his wife and say, hey, this is what we're doing. This is what we're creating a structure. And she's going to naturally support what her husband is saying or what her man is saying. That's not the situation here. We're talking about, you have a majority of single parents out here raising kids, boys and girls. That changes everything. Yes, there are structures that we can put in place. Yes, there are lessons that we can teach. My son he knows how to cook. He knows how to clean. He knows how to treat women. Now, he knows how to go camping, start a fire, fix things. Why? Because I took him to go do those things. All the things that he did as a little boy, I took him to do those things. Now, does that discount the fact that he still needs his father? Of course he needs his father.
Exactly.
And I took him and I do agree, I took him as far as I could take him as far as being a man. And that's only, and it's only from the mother's side of things. And so, but circumstances made that happen. Now, had his dad been able to be around, or, we're not gonna get into that, but had he been around and take him to those things, it might have been different. All the sports that he plays, my son has been playing soccer since he's 3 years a star. I started that. I took him to the games. I took him to the practice. My other 2 kids, my girls, everything that they've done, I've done it. I've taken them there. I've been in three different places miraculously at the same time. Every day, a few times a week. So, but the point is that no, we cannot teach the things that men are supposed to teach our children, because we're sitting here, we're focusing on boys, but girls need fathers too.
Mm-hmm.
Again, there's only so much either one of the parents. That's only so far that they can take them. However, circumstances will put you in a situation where you have to do what you have to do, and it's not gonna be perfect. And to back up what Miss McCoy was saying, as far as in teaching, my experience, I called a father. Oh well, I don't. They didn't even know the name of the school. What school is this? They didn't even know that their kid was in my class. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't know. You're gonna have to call their mom.
Call my wife.
You know what I'm saying? So, maybe it's a new age thing, or I don't know.
And that's what I was gonna get to, because I believe, and this is what I want to talk about at the Juneteenth celebration, because I believe the Black family is becoming extinct. And the reason why, and I'm not saying anything's completely on one person, but when you said when Clint said, when you said, well, we're talking about a single household and a two-parent household. Well, my first thought is, and y'all can answer this question, I'm gonna throw it out there and then I'll answer it. Why is the two-parent household not working? Now, this is my answer.
Ooh, my bad.
This is my answer to it. You can answer. And so my answer is because some of us have been by ourselves too long. We get set in our ways, and then you get a man who wants to come into your life and be your man, or a woman that wants to be in your life to be your woman, and you don't know how to quit being independent. That does not mean we do not want you to be independent. If I get sick, I want you to know how to pay the bills. I ain't trying to keep nothing from you. This is why, in my mind, why God created marriage. He knew we cannot do this alone. The two became to be one. So when you in the family, if my wife is giving structure to these kids, it is not my place to belittle her in front of them or correct her. Now, if she says something I don't like, then in our private time, I can bring it to her in the correct way. This is what I mean by learn how to talk to your king and your queen and not talk to the fool that's in them, because there's a fool in all of us.
Controlling those emotions.
The difference. There you go. You have to know the difference. But my problem is what we're talking about. Now we're talking about when we was growing up, and I'm like Miss Tamika, we come back from that era. But these kids these days, they talk more back to their folks than I would have ever thought doing. But what is the problem? Why do we keep splitting this up? And I don't want to hear about all these men in jail. Yeah, that's an issue, but that's a man thing. And I'm not going to put it all on men. Some men have made it hard for single women to be in a relationship with them. And some women have made it difficult for a man to be in a relationship with them. Either it's past hurt, or you ain't healed yet, or you got some stuff you need to fix. Either side. It's like we say, when you come into a relationship, I need you to be whole. I don't want you to be perfect. And we need to figure out our own narrative and progress. We tend not to be able to handle difficult situations. And this is something I'm going to bring up as a topic. When we're dating, I want y'all to think about this. Well, I'll say it later. But when you're dating, if you already have in your mind that if this don't work, I'm gone, I don't want to marry you.
I want to add to that. I was just about to make 2 points, and you just segue right into it. I was watching something today about a young preacher. I forgot his name. It's like Todd or something like that.
And that's what we don't talk about.
He said a lot of people are dating to practice for divorce. And it was just like, and I'm just thinking it to myself. I'm like, I feel like I have done that in the past. It's like I'm looking for something. It's just like, oh, this is too good to be true. I'm just waiting for it to just fall apart or remind me of something, or you know what I'm saying? And I'm just easy to get out. And it took some time for me to heal and say, you know what, that's not what I want. I want to actually be, in a relationship where I actually want this and I know what I actually want and go for that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The other point I was gonna make was I forgot what I was gonna say. hey, you were talking about what happened to the black family. Or where you said family structure. You didn't say black family. What happened to family structure?
Because in a relationship, it should be a partnership. Like Lisa just said, I definitely agree with it.
And it goes with that same thing. I think that, you know, if people, you know, learn how to communicate, learn how to control emotions, and actually be a partner, actually take the time to have a conversation on how to approach something rather than, well, I'm just gonna say, and you just need to follow what I'm doing. Because then there's a lot of consequence or a lot of conflict with that. And I think people take that submissive word a little bit too far. You know, you need to be submissive to me. You know, you have a lot of men that say you need to be submissive to me. But the thing is, if I'm here to help you, we have to communicate. We have to be. I can't help you if I don't know what you're doing or you know what the goal is. You know, you can't. I'm not gonna. If you lead me off the cliff, I don't know if I can follow you to jump off the cliff.
There you go. And we don't want to feel misunderstood every time we communicate.
Right.
I can't be like people tell me all the time. Oh, you so aggressive. Being direct doesn't mean I don't eat all my vegetables. I like to get to the meat and potatoes and things. Let's just handle the issue. That doesn't mean I'm being too aggressive. But men don't like to feel misunderstood. And there's a clip, I'll send it to y'all. There's a clip where a man tells his woman that I can't talk to you about and be totally vulnerable with you because when I talk to you, you feel like I'm attacking you. And I'm not, because it's always, I don't know what it is. And y'all, and we can speak to this too. I don't know what it is. And I know somebody like this. When it comes out of either a man's lips or a woman's lips, we don't necessarily listen, but we listen to respond. I used to be real bad at this. And what I mean by, Bree could say, I ran to the house. All I heard was house, and that's all I'm talking about is the house. I didn't listen to the whole statement. Mm-hmm. If I listened to the whole statement, it maybe my reaction could have been different. But then sometimes feel like I understand people do that, or I used to do it, because I was in a situation where I always had to defend myself. I was always in the courtroom with who I was with. So you weren't my partner. You was a defense attorney, and then I'm the one that had to, you know, try to defend me while I'm not wrong, instead of just like, listen to what I'm saying. I hear too many women say, I like to be heard. Well, guess what? A man want to be heard too. Everything's a two-way street. Go ahead, Clint.
I don't really, like I said, I don't really have much of a comment. You know, I just, I think the black family is being extinct because nobody's promoting marriage, first of all. And the majority of it, and I don't have any statistics, but the majority of the single families are really single mothers and their kids. And my thing, I tell every single mother, I'm gonna raise my kids by myself. That's stupid. Go find you a man. Like, who in the hell want to raise kids by themselves? If the baby daddy don't want to be involved, go find you a replacement. I mean, there's nothing wrong with going to get a stepfather. Nothing wrong with going to get a stepmother. If my daughter was still young and her mother passed away, Lord forbid, I'm not gonna sit around here and raise her by myself. I'm gonna go find her a stepmother, because there's certain things that I cannot do for my daughter that a female can. And yeah, like Bree was saying, it's circumstantial situations, like with the school and everything. A lot of men don't know their kids' teacher or whatever, but a lot of women, when we take their car to the shop, they don't know what's wrong with their car either. So we're nitpicking. Because there's certain things that men know, like when the car broke down, a woman don't know what's wrong with the car. Well, baby, the car ain't running. It's a light blinking. So it's certain skills that we have as men, and there's certain skills y'all have as females. We just got to have a balance. But we can't be in situations where one is dictating the other. Like y'all said, we have to work together.
Okay, so to you said something about this replacement, and see the issue that I've run into is the men who are saying, I'm not raising nobody else's kid.
Whoa.
You see what I'm saying? So
I've heard that.
Well, pick from the right tree.
Well, but
that's true. But I've also, I've also heard that a man just don't want to. It sometimes it's not just about picking. It's simply there's not a lot to pick from when you got men. Most men, well, you know, I'm in my 30s, and before I was in my, you know, early 30s, and men in their early 30s, they're not looking for no woman who got 2 and 3 kids. You know what I'm saying? That they looking for somebody who don't have the obligation. So, you know, to say that's kind of it's easier for a man to find a woman to help with his kids than it is for a woman to find a man to help with her kids.
That's not
what
true.
I'm trying to say.
That's not true,
I was 28 years old. I'm sorry, Tamiko. I was 28 years old when I met my wife, and she had a 2-year-old son. We was together for 11 years. And the only reason I didn't want to be with another woman that had kids is because we step parents have all the responsibility and none of the authority. That's the reason why most of us men don't want to help y'all with y'all kids, because y'all want to run shit. Now, if I'm gonna be there picking up your kid, feeding your kid, keeping them and all that, you got to give me some equity in your child. It ain't just
that's
your
if
kid.
it exists. That's it. Just like that 1%. They, like you said, there's that 1% of women that can do what they need to do for their kids. There's a
far
few
more, Bree. There's far more stepfathers than there are stepmothers. I promise you.
I hear you, because a lot of let's be real. There's not a lot of men who have actual, custody of their kids and all that other stuff.
But here's the thing with that. I'm sorry, Miss Bree.
Go ahead.
But okay, so you're probably correct, and I don't know the exact number. There are more men that are stepfathers. However, they're not fathers. So, and what I mean by that, you have men that are raising other people's, their girlfriends, their fiance, their wives' children, but they're absent from their biological children. That happens. They're absent from their biological children's lives. So yeah, they're in the role of stepdad and they're doing the bonus dad stuff, but their own biological children are suffering because they're not active in their lives. It happens more than it happens.
And to add to that too, it's just like, woman.
I'm sorry, and I can tell you that because I work in the school, so I know the parents that I'm communicating with. It's always, well, you have to ask their mama, because I really don't know. They're not the biological fathers, but they're in that role.
And then go
ahead, Bree. Go ahead.
You got women, okay, let's say in my situation, I had 3 kids at the time when I became a single mom, okay? And I'm dating a guy who also has 3 kids. I have my kids full time. If he's with me, he's around my kids full time. He's not around his kids full time. It's so if the tables were turned and say I didn't have my kids or I didn't have any kids, yes, I would be in his kids' lives. But it's kind of like, do I put my kids on the back burner to make sure that I'm a good stepmom to his kids? So it's like it's a whole bunch of going back and forth. But more situations are that the woman has her kids full time and he's trying to be with her, so he's with her kids full time.
So with that being said, now I'm gonna speak for me. I was married to a woman who had 4 kids. So my whole thing is that the first thing I'm gonna say is, whoever this man is thinking he gonna be with a woman that got kids and ain't gonna consider her kids or doesn't consider her kids. Like, if I'm with you, I consider your kids because I don't have any. I can move around a lot freely than you. I'm always gonna be thinking about your kid. Brie, you know this. I'm always gonna be thinking about your kids because those are your kids. And my thing is, what I've learned is, if you really want to get the kids' attention, make sure they see you. You continue to show them how you love their mother. I don't have to talk to your kids. What I knew when I was married, that was a package deal. Mm-hmm. It was not, I can't have you without your kids. That's stupid for me to walk in a situation and think that. So when I did,
but you were willing.
I was willing to do that because I didn't have any. And just like now, I'm 44. I don't have any kids, right? But if I get married to a woman with kids, it's a package deal. I used to not. Now I'm gonna tell you why I had a problem with it, and it's what Clint said. When I was married in that situation, let me say this because she was on the show. When she was in that other headspace and not the one she in now, and I was being the other Greg and not this one, it was always, what I could not stand was when we were good, they were ours. When we was in disarray, these mine. First of all, we married, and I'm gonna continue telling people it's a difference between a covenant and a relationship. So all that minds and I see that, to me, that's what determines me why I'm dating you. The way you talk, the way you carry yourself. If there's too many eyes and you keep talking about, well, we together, we can't be a we if you always talking about I. Because if we together, then
but that's
then
it when you
me
get there.
you.
It's a lot of people don't even want to step in and do that though. They don't even want. They just get.
But there's a lot that do, Bree, and the ones
Thank you,
that do, The ones that do always get looked over. They don't fit your type. I'm looking for this dude, this height, this skin color, this size, that ain't size, this and that. I told my homegirl all the time, all she used to date was dudes 6 foot and over. And every one of them she dated hurt her. All of them. But then she got with a dude that was 5'10" and she's 5'6". Now she's been happily married for almost 12 years. See?
Because she put that type shit out, excuse my language, she put that type crap out the window and find a man who got the characteristic traits to be able to be a father. And it's a lot of stepfathers. I was one. I love my daughter.
Yeah, it is.
I've always loved my daughter. But my daughter's mom intentionally kept my child from me for years at a time. It's been times where I only saw my daughter maybe 3 or 4 times a year. Why? Because her motherfucking mama was mad. Now, I'm not going to stop being a father to my daughter. I'm not going to stop being a father to my son either. A woman does not dictate the type of father I am because my child's not around. Because, see, it takes two. It's a lot of you silly ass women out here, too, who don't understand that we in the business of raising a child. It's not just about you and your feelings. So a lot of you women, and this is where the shoe fits wear it. And I'm defending the men who love their children and who love other men's children. I have been in a situation where my ex-wife, who I'm divorced now, got mad at me and told me the very kid that I raised, I couldn't see him no more. Why? Because she was mad at me. Now, is she thinking of the kid that I raised, or is she thinking of herself? So I'm not going to sit here and make it seem like we've got all these deadbeat ass daddies out here, and we don't.
Nobody's saying that.
Nobody.
Where is that even coming from?
Nobody's saying.
It's coming from y'all.
That's what we call. That's what we call. That was a. Clean. You got to watch cuss word. But this is what we call that. That's a hurtful place. So we acknowledge that's a hurtful place. But what he's saying is truly real.
It happens. For sure. I'm not negating that. That's his reality for sure. But what I'm saying, I think the original question I wanted to go back to what happened to the I'm gonna say the Black family, because I can't speak on any other family because I'm Black.
Right.
We're too busy, in my opinion, trying to work and provide. Where when we get home, we're tired. We don't have time to do anything but feed the babies, make sure the babies get in the bathtub, and go to bed and do it all over again. We're working, trying to provide a living. And we're losing all of the basics. We're losing that foundation, because back in the day, Mama stayed at home and Papa went out and got the bread and brought it home. Now you have women that are out working. So you want me to go to work. You want me to help pay some bills. I'm helping raise the kids. I'm cooking. I'm taking care of the clothes. What are we doing together here? And that's where it's falling off. Women are just saying, hey, I'm tired. I'm going to do what I can do. And then whatever else can't happen, it won't happen, or it'll happen, as Ms. B said, the best way that it can. You just
stop working, ladies, and stay at home. If that's a big deal about working, stop working and stay at home.
If
women are making just as much as men, if not more, then why would we lose the income that's dominant?
But you're sitting here complaining about I'm tired.
No, I'm not complaining. It's a reality. If we're talking about a partnership, that means partner. Them dishes need to be washed. Get in there and wash them dishes. Partner. Them clothes need to be washed. Get in there and fold them clothes. Partner. These floors need to be mopped. Get in there and mop them floors. It's the same. If the yard needs to be mowed, if something needs to be trimmed, I can pull some flowers, but I'm not an outside person. So let me go ahead and give that disclaimer.
Wait a minute.
I don't, because I take care of the inside. Right. I don't do anything outside.
I'm glad you just said that, because I was just about to say, didn't you say in the first segment, when you and your husband talking about the dishes for the boys and everything, you feel like that was a role for you?
I do that.
Now, you can't have it both ways. You can't assign.
No. You said why are women not working? Why women should stop working? And I'm telling you why it's not happening.
Right, but that's why you saying that women are coming home complaining, and I'm saying that if women are complaining like that about doing chores at home, stay at home.
But what happens to the house?
That's okay.
He just need to make sure.
He need to make sure that he's taking. If the thing about it, if he's taking care of everything,
reverse roles.
I'm saying if my man come and tell me, you know, baby, you ain't got to work no more. I got the house, I got this, I got that. And then I got the house. I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm doing everything.
but it has to be established. You can't just be like,
exactly.
You know, if the money, we can't be here struggling, the lights getting turned off, and I'm staying at home taking care of the kids. No, I need to go to work and help keep these lights on, and I'm going to be tired.
But the question is, what happened to the structure of the Black home? So there's going to be some sacrifices made somewhere if we're complaining about the structure of a Black home.
So,
like I said, if we went, hold on, I'm sorry. If the women complaining about being tired, then the men need to stop complaining about why she ain't opening her legs, because that's been an issue too. When she don't come home, it comes up. It comes up. Don't sit there and lie. Don't sit there and say that that's not an issue, because that's a big issue.
And then when you don't feel that you're being satisfied, then that's when you tip out. So then that's
you ain't getting enough attention. You ain't getting this, and you ain't getting that.
And now what you're saying is a two-way street. So it's just like what I would say. You got to know. You can't say that you're getting. So how do I put this? I'm trying to make sure I make sense of it, because in my mind, the way that it works with me, I believe in hierarchy of Jesus, the man, the woman, then the kids, right? Now, there's a problem where you have some women who treat their boys like they man and then treat their husbands like they boy, and then vice versa, right? But my whole thing is this. I know the hierarchy, but my thing is I'm all about partnership. We have to work together. This is our house. This is not just my house. So if I decide to do something and I come to Mr. Miko and say, hey, this is what I'm thinking, you always have a say-so in our house, because I'm not doing this by myself. However, at the end of the day, if I still hear what you say and I still want to do what I'm going to do, then this is when you support, because this is just vice versa. Just like my sister plays Lisa is my very good example. I said this to Lisa a long time ago about being in partnership, right? When she was on the show, and but she, eventually she has things going on. I never said she left, but she's going through now she's seeing everything that I said a long time ago. She's in a relationship, and it's a partnership. She told me a story about something happened, and they got into it, and because he was programmed to understand every woman came in his life always left when it didn't go her way. But when she came in the next day for work, and she showed up, kissed him, and got to work, threw his whole mind away. Now they work as partners. Do they still disagree? Do they still have issues? Do they still this? Yes, they're still going to have that. But both of them respect each other on the same level. I don't put you as a woman. I don't put you as a man. We are together. This is what we're going to do. So let's learn how to work together. I believe we always searching for love, good D, good P, but you ain't searching for somebody to have a whole life with. And if you pay more attention of trying to build a foundation of building a friendship, these people on this podcast right now, we are all friends. Why people will look at this and be like, oh man, he this, he that, Clint this, Bree that. It ain't no love lost between us, because there's a mutual respect. And if you learn how to respect who you with, then you can respectively disagree, and your arguments will turn into from a 2-week deal to a 10-minute ordeal, because some stuff is not that serious. And like Bree said, we're gonna get into that on the show. Learn how to control your emotions. Bree don't like to be talked to stupid. I'm not gonna be talked to like I'm stupid. So let's learn how to talk to each other.
Can I say one thing when you talking about the hierarchy?
And then I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna
do. I just have to. Right, but you said the hierarchy is God, the man, the woman, the kids. Here's the thing about leadership: when you're in a leadership position, you can't lead if you have no followers. The thing about leading, like you said, if my man comes to me and he says, "Hey, this is the idea that I have," even if I disagree, because he's leading in the correct way, he's being a leader, I'm gonna say, "Hey, I don't really agree with it, but hey, we'll try it your way." And if that way doesn't work, then we can do it my way. But that's a communication. That's a partnership. I'm not saying I want to be part of the final decision. I just want to have an opinion. And if it don't work out, hey, we can work it my way. That's cool.
And what Clint is saying is that what you're saying works.
Pillow talk, or you could just have pillow talk and then make him think that what he's saying is the way. And then, I mean, you know, you just kind of use that reverse psychology, and he'll think it's his idea, but then it's your idea, and then you just
ain't nobody got time to play them games.
I'm finna go on mute on now.
Look, you now, Clint, me and you are very direct. But what she said, I have to agree, it does work if you know how to do it. And I ain't calling it reverse psychology. It's about how you approach somebody. I used to approach April wrong about a whole lot of stuff. Now I'm learning to approach people in a different way. And sometimes when I do that, I still get what I want. I still win, even though you get to do what you want to do. But you don't see it that way. Like I tell people now, I don't have unnecessary arguments. You know why? Because I figured out what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. So now when I know it's going to go there, I just be like, okay, we got to learn how to take the L. Oh, that's a topic. We're going to have that one too. Go ahead,
man, Greg, if a woman got to trick a man into buying to her ideas, she got a weak man. He got to be open-minded enough to trust his woman.
Hold on now. Hold on. It's not a trick. It's not a trick, though.
She said reverse psychiatry.
It's all in the presentation, brother. It's all in the presentation.
I get that.
Because I can say the same thing 2 different ways. And if I come at you rah, you automatically not trying to hear what I'm saying. If I bring it down,
so why would you come to me like that in the first place?
And I bring it to you, you're more apt to listen to what I'm saying.
Why would you come like that in the first place?
Because I'm human. That's what I'm saying. We got to learn how to.
Women are analytical.
Some of men are. I am one that can say I've came to women on 10,000 expecting to get what I want, and it did not work.
Yeah,
but the thing about it, but the thing about it, men are logical. Men see a solution and they ready for it. A woman is analytical. We see 3 different ways it can go wrong and 3 different ways it can go right. And if we can both come together and figure it out, that works so much better. And that's what Miss McCoy was trying to say. She was like, it's just a different way because we are nurtured, we're soft. If we come and we actually talk to you in a adult way and just say, hey, these are the ideas that I have because we are analytical creatures, it's much better than to just say, okay, baby, cool, do you.
And last thing, before we do the last word, to what we talked about is the majority of, there's 59.9% that are identified as the stepfather to 1 or more children in a household, and 40.1% are not. And as far as women that are single, it says single parent homes in 2020, there's more than 80% that were headed by single mothers. Yeah, that's all it gives me. So man, look, we're gonna get into this next week, right? Same bad channel, same bad time. Let's get into this last word. Clint, always, brother, thank you for bringing that heat. Let's get to the last word. So Mr. McCoy, I want you to have last word because I want you to talk about this COVID stuff going on in school as well.
Oh yeah, seriously. But this is a topic that is near and dear as being a single parent for 17 years. It definitely takes men and women to raise a well-balanced, diverse individual. However, women can put things in place to help guide their children, whether it's male or female. And I think they will be just right. Will there be some nuts and bolts missing? Yeah, perhaps. However, you can compensate with that if you're directing them to the correct locations and to the correct individuals and or resources to get them what they need. Physically, women can't do it all, but we definitely can put some things in motion and set up some resources to make that happen. As far as the COVID thing goes, parents, like if you're sick, somebody's in the house sick, been in contact, keep the babies at home. It's just the proximity within the classrooms, or it's just too close. The resources that the districts are proclaiming to provide are not necessarily plentiful as they are reporting. So we have to do our due diligence to keep each and every one of us safe. So if your baby's sick, somebody's in the house sick, contact, whatever, keep the babies home until we know that we are in the clear. We love them. We want them to grow educationally. However, we can't grow them if they're not here physically.
Mayor.
Who, huh?
Clint, the mayor.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, the mayor.
Mayor.
Hey, thanks guys for of course always inviting me on the show. I definitely enjoyed it. Looking forward to the next time I get invited.
Next
My
Tuesday.
my son is not my stepson. He is my son, so I'm not a stepfather. I'm a father.
Thank you. I like that. I used to drill that to you all the time. Quit saying step. It ain't in the Bible, so that's your son. Say that. Dr. B.
What? Step?
Dr. B, come on. Give us the last word, baby.
Hey man, anytime there's an absent parent, it's gonna be difficult to have a well-rounded child. You just have to get in there, dig your heels in, and just work at it and do the best you can. It's not the kid's fault. You know what I'm saying? You just have to, I mean, there's so many things, so many ways it can be wrong or right or whatever, even when there is a 2-parent home. But we just got to make sure that we keep the kids first and just know that we only have them for a little while. Once they turn 18 and they start becoming adults, they're going to be adults a lot longer than they're going to be kids. So we just have to do the best we can, try to and be right. Pray and pray some more. And pray some more. Yes. Not more, and just I don't even have any, we go part 2. Love y'all. Bye.
Part 2, man. Look, man, of course, I thank my family for always being here. Clint, since you said that, we'll see you next Tuesday as well. So put that on your calendar. L Boogie, y'all need a call-in line. No, don't call in. You can be on the show Tuesday too.
Yeah. Tell Lisa quit running. Tell Lisa quit running.
So make yourself available at 8:00 on Tuesday. I'm gonna call you.
Hey, Greg, tell Lisa I'm gonna handle her like I handle Bree, like I used to back in the day.
Ain't nobody handling me. That's why this is Zoom. This is Zoom.
Those words. It's those words. See,
that's it. Now, see right there. That's a perfect example, bro. If you just change the word that you're using, you wouldn't.
Don't change that. Keep that same energy. Keep that same energy. When we going back to the studio?
Bree used to handle her and Lisa.
You know what, Clint?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I hope you sleep so well at night, thinking that
I'm gonna dream about handling you tonight.
Please don't.
Not in that sense. In a studio sense.
Jesus. No, because you fooling yourselves.
Y'all get on mute. Just mute it out, bro. We're gonna have part 2. Look, L Boogie calling me now. Look, don't call me while we're still on the show. She said, I ain't scared. Oh, now you not scared. Okay. Nah, I know you're not scared, sis. To my man, Stucky Styles, man. Look, bro, of course, I'm definitely going to get you on. Of course, Miss Antoinette Turner, once again, thank you. I shout out to you earlier. This is B. I'm not necessarily know who this is, but I hope you continue to watch. My man, Matt Dowd, what's up? I guess I'll see you soon as well. Look, man, we had a good time with this. I hope you are having the conversation where you are. We want to hear your comments. Please always tune in. I hear you about the phone line. We used to have that. Maybe I can make that work. I would definitely do my part. That's why Bree said something about going back to the studio. I can't wait, man. Look, I enjoy this. This is always something that we need to get into, and I'm gonna bring more males on so we can get a whole different perspective of things. Once again, thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget about the Juneteenth coming up. Of course, check us out on TV soon. You'll see some fine young brothers who were able to win an award at the MLK Center. Thank you, my brother, Mr. Clint Baker, for allowing me to be on there. So as Kanye West would say, Mama, I'm on TV. No, I'm just on TV with my brothers, man, and just showing what we try to value and what our mission is. Of course, we'll get into this same topic, part 2. Make sure you share. Let everybody know we are on at 8:00. Once again, man, before we leave, I got to say this. This is dedicated to my mother, to my brother's mother, Miss Jane Carey and the Carey family, man. I will see you in a minute, bro, if you're not asleep. Other than that, man, if you know my brother, make sure you reach out to him. Keep all us in your prayers. Always, as I tend to say, I live by 2 mantras. Faith and fear cannot dwell in the same place. And while you on this side, as my mother was on this side and my father and grandfather, until you get to the other side, they did 3 things. Love, live, and I can't even say it now. Love, live, and laugh while you over here before you get to the other side, man. Look, think big, believe in God because he believes in us. We'll get down for the countdown right here on the full 180 next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Other than that, man, y'all have a good night. Enjoy your week. We out. Holla.
Bye, Bree.
You have a wonderful night, sir. Sir,
Yeah,
Mayor,
y'all
sir.
ain't nothing. Look, I'm gonna play the theme song while y'all talking. I gotta, because this is what we doing. Applying pressure.
Yeah, I'm pressure.
You pressure, man.
To
I'm
somebody.
pressure for Lisa and Bree. I'm pressure.
To
Like
somebody.
I used to be.
Look, you better go ahead and start saying doctor. Put some respect on my name.
Dr. B, Dr. Pep, it don't matter.
Put some respect on that name.
Yeah, she can
Put
start
some
calling me
respect
Nick.
on that name. Hey, y'all be good. We'll see y'all later.
All right. Bye, y'all.
I guess that's why you like it, baby. Come and get this. Takes a lot to excite me, baby. Give it all you got. I'm a tough cookie, baby. Get the right side. You texting me, you know I won't reply. Why you ain't with me when I wasn't this fly? Now I'm on top and now I'm riding sky high. Don't need nobody, but I'll take you down tonight. And now I'm okay with being nasty. You can hop for all these clothes anyway. My body dripping, boy, but you gon' activate. But when you get it, lick it like a candy cane. Keep your eyes on me, apply. Get it, don't be timid when you in it, like. Love a bone, live alone, leave it. Say, I don't want no drip, baby, spray it like you need it. So fine and spicy, baby, jump up on this. I guess that's why you like it, baby, come and get this. Takes a lot to excite me, baby, give it all you got. I'm a tough cookie, baby, get the right side. Pop it, baby, twist it, honey, do it like you mean it, darling. Keep it coming, ooh, keep it running, leave it messy. Go ahead and live in it, swim up in it. Pop it, baby, twist it, honey, do it like you mean it, darling. Keep it coming, ooh, keep it running, leave it messy. Go ahead and live in it, swim up in it. Keep your eyes on me, apply. Get it, don't be timid when you in it, like. Love bomb, live alone, leave it. Say, I don't want no drip, baby, spray it like you need it. So fine, spicy, baby, jump up on this. I guess that's why you like it, baby, come and get this. Takes a lot to excite me, baby, give it all you got. I'm a tough cookie, baby, get the right spot. Yeah, yeah. Just hit it, baby. Hit it, baby. Oh, hit it, baby. Hit it, baby. I said, keep it running.
That's all, folks.